Make your own fence. That's right. Make your own fence for bandsaw. That's today's topic. But my solution might not work for you, but you can modify it to make it work for you. So you went out, you bought a bandsaw. It did not come with a miter slot. It did not come up with a fence. As a matter of fact, it didn't even come with side rails. Well, that's what happened to me. I bought my bandsaw. Even though it was a great price, it was an unbelievable price on where I got, considering it's, not to say that it's better than anybody else, but it's a Delta. I think it's an okay saw. And but it really came with nothing. It didn't even have rails, never mind the fence or anything else to go with it. Well, you're looking at that and you're saying, well, I see rails over there. Yes, you see rails. And you probably recognize this pipe. It's still pieces from that old lathe. It's that 1 1/4 inch square tubing that I had, and I made rails. I made 2 rails for the side of my bandsaw. So what I'm going to be showing you is based for this system, but it can be modified to do things that are slightly different. Now, let me bring you in here, see if we can get a good look at that. Now, to mount these rails, the first thing that I did is I cut them to the length that I wanted, and I drilled a 1/4 inch, maybe a 3/16, maybe 3/8 hole all the way through on the rail on my drill press, both sides, matching these holes with the holes that were on my tabletop. Took a bolt that fit the thread on my tabletop, which was a 1/4 inch thread, if I'm not mistaken, 1/4 20. Put a nut in between this area right here and this, big enough that I can fit my screwdriver through. I could fit the head on this side, so I made the 3/8 and then a slightly bigger hole over here so the head of the screw could actually fit through. Put the screw in, tighten it up to it, and it left this 1/4 inch spacing here, which is the nut. The reason why I did it this way is because I already had something in mind that I wanted to complement the saw with, which was I don't have a fence. So I started thinking, what am I going to do to make a fence? And there's lots of variations for fences for your bandsaw. I got this notch back here, which is only to allow the fence to go further back. Allow the fence to go further back and not interfere and give me the maximum amount of room to work on the tabletop with it still being here without having to take it out of the way. And for it to operate in here, okay, I had to figure out a way that I could keep it true without external clamps locking it in place, without doing all kinds of extra things to it. I want this to come over here, bring this to whatever measurement I want, and do my cuts. So the reason why I put this spacing here to start off with was so I could make a design, something like this, to ride in my channel. This locks it, where it keeps it from going in and out. I got a lock screw over here, and the lock screw does not come through on the back side. It's a skinny metal plate, and I don't know if you'll see that, but as I put pressure, it bulges up in the middle, locking it up true on my rail. If I back it up, that starts getting flatter. Okay, so that's how I apply tension to the fence and the rail so it stays true. This side, because I have these rails set at the same height as the channels, as the channel on my tabletop. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't do that. I would, well, I'd have to change this design, but the reason why I did that is if I'm running a miter slide, or if I'm running any auxiliary tables or anything of that sort, you know, I don't have to worry about it. It will run through all the way clear to whichever side that I'm working on. Okay, so anyway, I put a block on this side to raise me up so it rides all the way through here, or when I clear the table, it doesn't flop down on that side. It stays parallel with the table. It's so it doesn't swoop down. I can bring it up, back, lock it up at any point, and that's my version of a fence for a bandsaw. Well, hope you like this one. I hope you can use it. I hope there's some tips over there that later on, maybe if you get a bandsaw, if you already have one and you don't have certain features to it and you want to add to it, it's an option. You could do this with an L channel, you could do this with all kinds of methods. It's the one I chose, but whichever one you decide to go with, there's always a way around for you to make it work. Thank you again. This is a bandsaw tip from Albert to you. Take care.